The pandemic turned our lives upside down. As a result, amongst many other things that we were not able to do, we were also unable to convene in Hyderabad for the 10th session of HMUN India last year, back in 2020. However, HMUN India 2020 still took place. And a lot of you are witness to that because you were participating last year. And this year, we're back again. And the best part, we are more in number than we were last year. Isn't that amazing? Can you believe it? This year, we have close to 1,000 participants from all across the world. And while we may not be able to physically meet each other, remember, we're all here today because we have a shared belief in creating change, in causing impact, and in solving problems so that our world may continually grow to be better each day than it was yesterday. The common thread that I would like to draw your attention to is our ability to adapt, right? In spite of everything that has happened, the very fact that all of us are here today, far away from each other, yes, we are far away from each other in body, right, physically, but we're closer together than ever before in mind, in thought, and in spirit. And that, my dear friends, is testament to the wonders of what the ability to adapt and be flexible can do. In this year's conference, this is the theme that we will explore, the theme of adaptability, and various other sub-themes revolving around impact, revolving around creating change under the umbrella of adaptability. Dear delegates, I do hope and trust that you're all excited for what's planned in the next 3 days of this year's HMUN India conference. HMUN India in 2021 is going to discuss various issues. But while we're on the topic of adaptability and impact, I'd like to share with all of you a beautiful quote that I came across very recently. The quote goes something like this: "We don't inherit the world from our ancestors." I'm going to repeat this again. We don't inherit the world from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Take a moment. Let that sink in. It's a pretty powerful statement, right? Let me be honest with you and tell you straight up that this statement, it changed my perspective entirely. And what's amazed me even more, ladies and gentlemen, is that in times like these, there are so many young people out there who are creating ripples of change. And this is creating positive impact in our world. Today, we're extremely inspired to have in our midst one little girl with an amazing story to share that we believe will bring the much needed momentum with the right intent to kickstart HMUN India 2021. Dear delegates, faculty advisors, teachers, and everyone who's here today, it is an immense honor to introduce you to Prasiddhi Singh. She's all of 8 years old and studies in grade 4 at Mahindra World School in Tamil Nadu, in India. She's the founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. She's been awarded the Prime Minister National Child Awardee of India, which is the highest civilian honor. She's the youngest fruit forest creator by India Book of Records. She's the brand ambassador of Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, Tamil Nadu, which translates to Save the Girl Child, Educate the Girl Child initiative of the Government of India. Until now, she has planted an amazing 16,000 trees and created 15 fruit forests. She's also taken over 100 sessions to raise climate awareness with people from all walks of life. You will be surprised to learn that she is on a mission to plant 1 lakh fruit trees to enhance biodiversity. On that note, dear delegates, please help me welcome, wherever you are, it doesn't matter, but please help me welcome with a warm round of applause. I would love for you to put your hands together to invite and help me welcome to speak with you our keynote speaker for today, none other than 8-year-old Prasiddhi Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, next you will see Prasiddhi Singh. Prasiddhi, the floor is all yours, and we can't wait to hear your story. Thank you.
It's not audible. I think you need to. It's not audible.
Prasiddhi, they're playing your video first, and then you will speak.
No, no. I'm saying that the video is not audible.
The video is not audible. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback.
Is immense, which is a good because the mobile net was more secure or like or no. I have a dream to create fruit forest at school and make a kid farming to feed squirrels, birds, butterflies, and also give fresh fruits to everyone. The total of biodiversity is immense, which is a good because the mobile net was the most secure or like or no is, including us.
Do you know the power of a small 4 millimeter seed which has the potential to grow 400 feet tall tree? Good evening, everyone, and namaste. Thank you so much, Harvard Model United Nations India, for inviting me here on this platform. I'm really happy to connect with all of you. Well, now you all might be wondering, how can an 8-year age girl achieve all this or become an impact creator? Well, let me share you my secret mantra about how I became an impact creator and how you can become an impact creator too. Well, mantra number one is be motivated. In this mantra, it's I always was connected with nature and I was always a nature lover. And I learned so much from nature. My biggest inspiration are trees, bees, and seas. Trees taught me never give up and continue. So when the entire world stopped in COVID, trees did not stop. They kept giving oxygen as they know their importance in this ecosystem. Bees taught me to collaborate because when the bee pollinates the flower and the flower gives nectar to the bee, they collaborate with one another. And seas taught me how to celebrate every victory, either small or big, because when it is low tide or high tide, they are always celebrating with their waves. So nature always kept me connected, and I have so many such learnings. But then in 2016, when Vada cyclone hit the shore of Tamil Nadu, I saw trees falling down. I saw birds and squirrels finding shelter, and I felt really sad. I felt that I have to take some action to support them. So, with my small steps of change, I started participating in several plantation drives for 2 good years. And then in 2018, I felt that I should take up my own initiative of planting 1 lakh trees by the year 2022, and I launched Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. Now I have a goal set up. I'm determined and motivated to do something for the environment and society. But at that time, I was confused. What do I do further? What should be the next step? And now, mantra two comes to guide us. Well, over here in this mantra, this is about information and to stay updated. Well, over here, I started reading, connecting with people, learning, understanding, and acquiring knowledge. And I also started reading about significant people such as Jane Goodall, Sylvia Earle, Wangari Maathai, Amina Gurif Fakim, and many more. And I saw about how they fought the battle to become impact creators. Now, the more I started reading, the more I explored about what is happening in the world currently. And I got to know that about biodiversity, which is the term that represents the total variety of all life on Earth. And we are also part of biodiversity because we are life. And equally is our responsibility to take care of the ecosystem. And to take care of the ecosystem, we need towering forests across 1/3 of the land's surface to block away carbon and to keep the climate stable. We need strange plants deep in forest to create our medicines and coral reefs and mangrove swamps to protect the coast we depend upon. Our planet's biodiversity has given us so much for free. But then Currently, it's under attack. After listening all about it and reading all about it, I felt that I have to do something, and it motivated me to plant native trees and fruit trees. Because have you ever seen any bird or squirrel going to the grocery store and swiping its credit card? No, right? But then trees are their habitat and biggest food source. So if I can plant fruit trees and native trees, I can help biodiversity. So my idea was now streamlined to fruit trees, native trees for supporting biodiversity. Now I started searching for land in government schools, trust lands, colleges, and safe public places to plant trees. And but then after doing all this and prototyping my idea and trying to set up everything, I came to a point that how will I get all funds to organize this entire plantation? And this is just one plantation, not even others. But then I felt that I have to be determined at this point. So I started doing different activities, and now step mantra 3, that is explore your talent, comes to rescue. As with what small talent I had, I started selling bookmarks, grow kits, and conducting different eco activities. And from the funds I raised through that, I started making my small setup. But I noticed that I do not have enough funds to make up my entire setup. And we all will have such a feeling, and at this point of view, when we feel that we are so close to the goal but we are not able to achieve it. At this time, mantra 4, that is stay strong and take action, will support you to become strong and really take action. At this point of time, I had two choices. Either I say, hey, I at least tried and give an excuse, or else I take the noble path, even when it is very difficult, but the fruit will be amazing for all of us. Keeping this in my mind, I said, if one door is closed, why wait? Go find another door or make your own. So I opened another pathway and I started creating my eco army by connecting with my friends, explaining them, and we started joining with each other, creating my small nurseries. And in fact, even in my school, I created my own nursery. So I created this nursery on my birthday by celebrating an eco birthday. And my principal ma'am also supports me so much in connecting. And this is how the change reaction started. I started connecting with everyone, creating nurseries, going door to door to collect seeds, fruit seeds for that. And now, when I had the entire setup proper and clear, I organized my plantation. But I faced a very big challenge. Now, after planting the trees, after taking so much effort, I got to know that all the cattle is coming, there's no proper resources, and they're not able to take care of the plants properly, and the plants would die. I said, okay, think, and calm down. And now, again, step 4 helps us. I was stood strong and I started putting up different pipes and putting proper fencing. So you see, it's not only about these 2 challenges which I told you about. I faced several challenges, and there are several hurdles awaiting us. But we must not take them as challenges. We must take them as opportunities of learning. Because whenever I faced a challenge, I learned something new and I didn't face that challenge again. So now we lead to step 5. You've truly become an amazing impact creator. But a real impact creator always amplifies the impact. So step 5 is all about it. That is collaborate. Now, while I was doing several forests, I noticed that many people have that love, care for nature, but then they don't know how to start or how to begin. They're not able to understand the proper way. So I decided I made one more motive, not only planting 1 lakh trees, but also making people aware so that not only me, but other people also take such steps of planting trees. And so I took 100 plus sessions by connecting in different locations, online and internationally too. So while taking all these sessions, while giving the guidance, I've seen, wow, magnificent impact. And it's not about a small step or a big step. Every step matters. And so these were the 5 steps mantras I wanted to share with you. But then you can also make and add up your own mantras. But remember, as I did in my journey, similarly, you can also have your own motivations and inspirations. You can, and remember, you must always get informed before you take any kind of action. Then you must always utilize the amazing talents you have with yourself to get what you want. So, mantra 3, that is explore your talent. And then whenever you feel that, oh, there's some challenge I'm facing, or how will I do it, then always use your motivations and stay strong and take action. And the 5th, but very important mantra, that is mobilize and amplify your impact. Now, I shared you 5 different mantras. Similarly, you must act on these mantras and create an impact. Now, if you feel that it will be very difficult for you to follow these 5 mantras, then let me tell you one thing. There's a simpler version I created. Even if you're not able to do this, then an impact creator can always encourage someone who's doing good. Always keep a smile on his or her face, and keep appreciating and encouraging the people who are doing good, giving gratitude and doing whatever best they can to help and support the people who are doing good. But now, if you think there's no need to be an impact creator and why me, still, if you have that doubt in your mind, then I'd like to say that we kids are just 25% or 1/4 of the population now, but we are definitely 100% the future. So it's upon us how we want to develop our future, and it's our responsibility to take care of our own future. And I'd like to say that the world is in desperate need of change makers because the world is facing unprecedented challenges and humanity is faced with choice. A choice to go on an unsustainable trajectory or stop, listen, observe, learn, and execute. And we can do this all by nature too, because there are several woven solutions inside nature which can help us encounter the problems we face. And it's upon us about how we create our own future. And that's why I feel the world needs more impact creators who can develop an impact and keep that happiness still in the community and society. But still, if you have a question, no, why should I be an impact creator? Then I have only one answer to that. If not you, then who? That's all from my side. Thank you.
My dear, dear, dear Prasiddhi, that was such a beautiful, such a phenomenal, such a moving, such an inspiring, and such an insightful talk. Thank you so much for sharing the pearls of wisdom that you've gained at such a young age. While I was listening to you, Prasiddhi, I must tell you that I, for even a single moment, did not think that I was listening to an 8-year old speaking on all of these things. You spoke with such maturity, you spoke with experience, and the way you spoke, the way you communicated all of those experiences and the insights that you've gained, I think it has left everyone here so inspired because while you were speaking, I was looking at the chat window time and again. I was glancing at the chat window time and again, and all the delegates who are here, everyone's been cheering you on. Everyone has been saying things like, at this age, how are you doing? All of these things. The only thing that I want to say to you is more power to you, Prasiddhi. And may you continue to inspire legions of people with the work that you do. May you continue to inspire grown-ups. May you continue to inspire little ones. And may everyone who come in touch with you become part of this lovely vision and mission that you've taken upon yourself to bring into the world. There were so thank you for sharing your experience, your story, and your journey with all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you all can, thank you. If you all can hear us, can you please send us a thumbs up in the chat window? If you can hear us and if you can see us.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for blessings.
You're welcome. And thank you for everything that you're doing. I loved the mantras that you talked about, the mantras of yours that you shared. I loved how you said what resonated with me so much, in spite of everything, out of everything that you've said, everything was sort of, uh, you know, uh, going home. I mean, it was registering. The things that resonated so much with me were also what you talked about, nature being the best teacher, the amazing lessons that, right? Yeah, the lessons you've gathered from nature, the interconnectedness of things that you were able to see at such a young age, how everything is interconnected, how we all codepend on each other, how we have to collaborate. Uh, the way you ended, right? Where you said, hey, listen, everyone, I urge all of you to stop, to listen, to learn, and then execute. You talk to everyone about being motivated. You talk to everyone about not giving up. But most importantly, I feel like you made everyone realize that the responsibility is ours. It's a shared responsibility, right? So,
Thank you so
for
much.
you're welcome. Thank you for sharing all of these wonderful, wonderful things with us. While we're on the subject of impact, Prasiddhi spoke to all of us about creating impact, right? So let's look at the value of impact and let's look at impact through a slightly different lens. What I want to do right now is I want to talk to you a little about the role that every single one of us can and should play in creating positive impact. Before I speak to you about this, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that for about 11 years now, right? H1 has been happening, H1 India has been happening since the year 2012. A lot of the schools and teachers and faculty advisors who are here today have been part of H1 India since day one. So many more people have joined as the journey continued. And as you all know, that H1 India 2021 has always endeavored, the teams at IRC and Worldview have always endeavored to bring and to create a platform that allows for these dialogues and exchanges to take place so that we can solve pressing problems. Yes, that is absolutely important. But how about taking that one step further, right, ladies and gentlemen? How about creating actual impact on the ground? Interesting, right? We learned from Prasiddhi right now that at 8 years of age, the one thing that she started to do was to take action. In the face of all odds, against all kinds of obstacles, she persevered. On that note, let us now talk about how, as Gen Z, as members of Gen Z, you can all create impact, become a community of solvers, take action on ground to make our world a better place than it is today, so that the tomorrow that we all live in is a tomorrow that is inclusive, is a tomorrow in which everyone understands their individual responsibility and comes together to build a better shared world. To speak about this a little bit more, I would like to invite to speak to you and to address all of you none other than Miss Aparna Rao. Aparna is the Associate Director at Worldview Education. She's a learning and development professional, and in her role currently as the Associate Director for Product Development at Worldview, she has been working on a special initiative. Her interest in the field of education initiated from her experience as a residential counselor with Duke University, where she was responsible for designing the engagement curriculum and fostering an environment conducive to students' educational goals and social development. As an ardent music lover, she spends her free time singing and playing the guitar. But today, she's here to speak to you about a very special initiative called Terra Ecum. Terra Ecum is also the impact partner for Harvard MUN India 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love for all of you to join me in a warm applause to help welcome Miss Aparna Rao. Welcome, Aparna. We can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Believe. Believe in your ability to make a difference. Right now, in this particular moment, we have an unprecedented opportunity to affect change.
When you shift the paradigm of whatever it is you choose to do to service, and you bring significance to that, success will, I promise you, follow you. So doing the right thing, even when nobody knows you're doing the right thing, will always bring the right thing to you.
Risk being seen in all of your glory.
And then if you just get people to do these small things, then eventually it's going to amount to a big difference.
Dear delegates, all of the comments coming in from you in the chats, all of the claps, all of the comments coming in are extremely heartening. We're all away from each other. I can't really see you. None of us can see each other. You can't see your fellow delegates and things like that. But in spite of that, I feel like we're all together. We're all in the same plenary. We're all in the same place, and we're in this together. So thank you so much for your enthusiasm. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. We were facing a little bit of an issue technically. We have Aparna now. And Aparna, stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Huzaifa, for the wonderful introduction, and apologies to you folks for a couple of seconds of delay. No virtual session is complete without a technical glitch nowadays, so we're keeping at that. Back in 2014, Shamsundar Sriram, a 17-year-old from Pathways World School, just like you all, was a delegate at the HMUN India 2014 conference. Sham, like many of you, participated in the HMUN India's Impact Initiative and submitted a video called The Power of One about the journey of an NGO, Ekal Vidyalaya. That was his small step towards building the world he envisioned. Ekal Vidyalaya, one of the leading NGOs in India that runs schools in tribal villages across the country, received widespread recognition online and on various media channels after being featured by Sham in his video. Sham truly proved that the power of one cannot be undermined. In 2018, another Gen Z who was also a part of the HMUN India conference, Anjali Surana, a 16-year-old from Calcutta International School, thought to herself, "For years I used the same brand of sanitary pads, Whisper. Have I become conditioned to do just that? Needed a pad? I whispered. Got unbearable cramps? I whispered. Raised my voice? No, I whispered." At the age of 16, Anjali wondered if a mere social media post could make a difference. But she did it anyway, sharing posts around menstrual equity and creating awareness on social media. Today, Anjali Surana is the founder of Full Stop, an entirely Gen Z run non-profit part of a larger global movement striving to change the world. Having distributed over 1 million menstrual products, reaching over 6,500 women with menstrual health management sessions and starting chapters across 4 countries. Her solver journey has today led to her acceptance at Stanford University, where she will be heading this fall. In 2017, all the delegates of Harvard HMUN India each made a small contribution towards the HMUN India Development Fund for the betterment of a government school in Shapur village of Telangana. In 2018, this very development fund provided the school with new toilets, clean drinking water, painted the school, and installed solar street lights in the village. Today, students continue to visit the village and work towards its development with the objective of establishing circular economic models around waste and water. Be it Sham, Anjali, or every delegate at HMUN India, they took their first small step towards making a difference in their own way, but over time have created big impact. The world doesn't need one big solution. What it really needs is for all 7.8 billion of us to take small actions leading to big impact. Well, we don't know about all 7.8 billion people because we all know what the boomers have done to the world. However, what we draw hope from and believe strongly in is the power of you all, the Generation Z. We believe that each of you is conscious, each of you is concerned, and each of you is willing to make a difference in the world. We believe that each of you, Gen Z, can become a solver, together becoming a generation of solvers. Having interacted with more than 35,000 Gen Z around the world over the last 12 years, understanding your needs, your aspirations, and what it would take for each one of you to discover your own path to become a solver, we've built for you and are excited to present to you TerraEcom. TerraEcom is the world's first gamified platform for you to learn about global issues, take actions, get rewarded, and build an impactful solver profile. But how do you do that, you ask? TerraEcom allows you to do your bit via a host of advocacy-related challenges where you can say and advocate for issues that you're most passionate about. It also allows you to slay in your own small way via a range of actions and solution-oriented challenges, be it turning your house solar or merely creating a bird bath for the occasional bird visitors. You can also learn on TerraEcom via exciting live engagements curated in association with our prestigious partners. And yes, we've made sure that you will stay awake for these. You can also dive into a variety of topics and issues, learning at your own pace and time through a host of bite-sized videos and courses. You can play on TerraEcom, from entrepreneurship and innovation challenges to model UNs and hackathons. Play strings together, learning and action to create exciting tournament-like challenges for you to immerse yourself in and win amazing awards. Not only that, you can now build your solver profile. TerraEcom consolidates all your actions and engagements on one solver profile. Your impact resume of sorts for when you apply to universities and work opportunities to showcase your contributions to society. Oh, and there's more. With every action you take on TerraEcom, you earn solver cred, the new street cred we call it, points that you receive on successfully completing a say or a slay challenge. And that's not all. You can redeem your solver cred to claim a host of rewards from TerraEcom's exciting rewards repository. There is a reason why we're talking to you about TerraEcom. Barring our partners, including UN bodies, prestigious universities, and some of your own fellow Gen Z whose insights have played a crucial role in the curation of this platform, you delegates are the first to see and explore TerraEcom. As Model UN students, especially as the delegates of Harvard Model UN India, you have already begun your solver journey, discussing and debating the world's most pressing issues. For us, all of you are not just users of TerraEcom. We believe that you can be the ambassadors of TerraEcom with the power to inspire your fellow Gen Z across the world to take their first small step and create their small big change. Yes, well, you guessed that right, there is more. We encourage you to give it your best at your committee sessions because we're now excited to announce that all the best delegates, outstanding delegates, and all the Impact Initiative winners at HMUN India 2021 will receive an annual TerraEcom Pro subscription absolutely free of cost. So on that note, all the best for your conference. Give it your absolute best, and we will see you at the closing ceremony with a special surprise for you all. All the best once again, and thank you.
Wow, Aparna, thank you so much for that in-depth and very, very detailed coverage of the TerraEcom platform. It is, I would like to take an educated guess and assume that a lot of these delegates, a lot of our delegates here who participated are extremely excited because it was so heartening to see all of them post about all of the great work that Prasiddhi was doing. And they were so excited about creating impact. And now they see that they have this platform and an opportunity to create that impact, for that impact to be measured, and for them to work on things that are close to them. So it's a community of sorts. It's a community that brings Gen Z together offers them the opportunity to become a generation of solvers and do all of this while working on things that really, really mean a lot to them. So, delegates, are you excited about Terra Ecum? Fantastic. Wow. Great. Great. It's great to see all of the yeses. It's great to see all of the claps coming in. It's so great that you're also engaged throughout the opening ceremony and that you're participating. That energy is what we're feeding off. Thank you so much for being amazing. Thank you so much for realizing that there is a need to take a stand. And thank you so much for deciding that you will be the people to make that stand. As Prasiddhi mentioned in her talk, it's something that I want to call back to. She talked about responsibility, about ownership, about responsibility. And on that note, there's a word that I'd like to share with you, a word that I learned pretty recently, but I think I'll save that until the end of the closing ceremony. Now it is time to get down into beginning Harvard MUN India 2021. And to do that, who better to invite than the Secretary General of Harvard MUN India 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, dear delegates, it is an immense honor to introduce all of you to none other than Miss Delaney Hurley. She's the former head delegate of Harvard's competitive MUN team. When she's not studying Middle Eastern politics and education policy at Harvard, she loves learning foreign languages, traveling to places that make her family nervous, and teaching debate. So, please help me welcome, with a really warm round of applause, like you've been doing so nicely all throughout, none other than our Secretary General for HMUN India 2021, Ms. Delaney Hurley, everybody. Please give it up for her. Welcome, Delaney. It's great to have you here.
You are all very, very kind. I very much appreciate it.
Oh, yes, they're amazing. All yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. When I was in high school, like all of you, I thought that Model United Nations was just about giving good speeches, making friends, and researching the world's most difficult and inspiring problems. MUN is all of those things, yes. But the main takeaway I've had from this activity over the past few years has been something entirely different. Now, I learned this lesson even before University MUN conferences. It was during the final stage of tryout process for Harvard's competitive Model UN team, which entails competing in a committee full of brilliant and eloquent and intimidating Harvard candidates trying out for a spot on the team. When I made it to that final stage, the team's leaders told us we were about to experience the most competitive committee of our entire Model UN career. Before we started, they showed us a video starring football icon Lionel Messi that I'll never forget. And the audio went like this. Don't go down, brothers and sisters. When life kicks you, tries to tackle you, don't go down. When your legs are heavy and your lungs are burning, don't go down. You can't defy the odds when you're down. You can't make someone a believer when you're down. Life has so much more in store for you if you just stay up. What mattered most in that tryout was continuing to try even when the odds seemed overwhelmingly against us, and it would be easier to just give up. Now, don't go down has become the motto of Harvard's Model UN team. We watched that video of Messi before every single conference we attended. When we saw each other in the hallways between committee sessions, we'd shout, "Don't go down." It's our rallying cry at night when we've spent 10 hours in committee that day. And then all of a sudden, those vibrant conferences were gone. The pandemic arrived last March, and I was pulled away from a team I called my family, a campus I called home, and a life that I took pride in. Everyone lost their footing this past year. Everyone I talked to said they felt like everything they had worked for, Everything they looked forward to was gone. And everyone had their own way of getting through this. Mine was rewatching that video and reminding myself to not go down. In one way or another, all of us have been telling ourselves to not stay down this past year. That's why we've made it here to the 10th edition of HMUN India, where our theme is adaptability. This conference has been made possible by incredible Harvard staffers, Worldview staffers, and our sponsors Ivy Central and Tiraikum, who refused to go down in the face of a global pandemic. Despite the world's chaos, they have researched and trained and practiced to make these committees possible, embodying the resilience and adaptability that all of us should aspire to. And you, as delegates, not only do you adapt to the pandemic, you as future global leaders need to get back up when faced with world issues unlike any that we've ever seen. Because this theme of adaptability isn't just limited to model United Nations. When diplomats and advocates get their policies rejected on the global stage, they don't go down. They shift their footing, they adapt, they create a new strategy, and they keep pushing forward. The fact is, your Harvard directors and the diplomats you admire aren't that different from you. They just don't go down, and you don't have to either. So this weekend, be like the people that you look up to. If you think that you gave a bad speech, don't stay quiet for the rest of the session out of shame. If it's your first time at the conference and you're a little intimidated by experienced delegates, don't be scared into silence. If your resolution fails, you shouldn't get discouraged into thinking you have nothing else to gain from this conference. Don't go down, because HMUN India has so much more in store for you if you just stay up. Enjoy your weekend, delegates.
Delani, thank you for that, for those really impactful words. Delegates, I hope that you've listened to these words and really, sort of are going to hang on to them and remember them, because don't go down is such a powerful statement. Delani, the story you shared with us, that personal experience, and all the words of motivation for the delegates, thank you so much. I'm sure that everyone's excited to take part in and for the conference to begin. Dear delegates, up next, it's time for me to introduce you to none other than the project lead for HMUN India 2021, representing Worldview. In fact, for the last couple of years, Ms. Daniela De Cruz has led the HMUN India conference. And it was also her prerogative, along with her team, to lead the HMUN India 2021 conference representing Worldview education, even during last year as well as this year. Dear delegates and everyone else who's present here, you can only imagine the amount of work that must have gone in for the teams on both ends at IRC and at Worldview to bring this conference together, because every year it's something that over 1,000 people from across the world look forward to bring it online and to seamlessly execute it with everyone having such an enriching experience was nothing short of a true feat. This year, she looks forward to doing it again, but doing it better than last year with her and her team. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you all to none other than Ms. Daniela De Cruz, Project Lead for HMUN India 2021. Please help me welcome her with a lovely, warm round of applause. Thank you so much and welcome. Daniela, it's so great to see you. And the floor is all yours. All the very best.
Thank you so much, Huzaifa. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everyone present here. I'm saying all three because we have delegates from all around the world, and it's really exciting to host all of you. HMUN India knows no physical barriers. All of you delegates know no physical barriers. At Hyderabad or virtually, the spirit of HMUN India is always enlightening. It's that spirit that transcends through 920 screens this day, all across the world in your homes. In my home, we feel the spirit of HMUN India. It's 2021. It's been 11 years and we've still managed to make this such a wholesome, enriching experience through it all. Thank you to all of you for making it happen. You are the face of HMUN India. You are the face of inspiration. And you are the face of change. You are the reason why we do HMUN India every year, and we will continue to do it for the years to come. Over the years, we've had such an amazing team to work with at the Harvard International Relations Council. Thank you for choosing to impart your knowledge through this platform and helping us do the same. Thank you to our lead partner, Ivy Central, who have always been successful in encouraging all our delegates to grow and flourish while giving them all the tips and tricks for their college applications. My team, you have worked tirelessly over these past few months. The dynamic in working with Gen Z is truly inspiring. And finally, our team at Worldview. With Terraicum, we have officially launched our first ever gamified platform for all of you young leaders. Something so unique, such an evolved way of learning. And we are all evolving every day. And so is our purpose through these experiences that we facilitate for you. The whole world has seen a change like no other over these 2 years. But there's one thing that stands out and always will, and that is courage. The courage in you, the courage in the teachers to adapt, the courage that all of us unknowingly, when the world changed, while we changed too. HMUN India is a powerhouse of 920 courageous delegates who have chosen to persevere and keep moving forward, to adapt and grow, and to go against all odds, even in the most trying times. This is the courage that we look forward to every year when we choose to do HMUN India. Dear delegates, you will probably not understand to its truest capacity of how inspiring you are. How every choice you make is towards a greater cause and resulting in greater effects. I have said this before and I'll say it again. If you believe in yourself, you are the unstoppable. So be the unstoppable. Be what HMUN India encourages you to be. And with that being said, I would, with gratitude, welcome all of you to the Harvard Model United Nations, India 2021. Thank you for being here, and I hope all of you have a wonderful experience for the next couple of days. Thank you.
Wow, Danetta, thank you so much for that absolutely moving speech. That was so beautiful. Thank you for sharing those words, and thank you for inviting our attention toward gratitude. It is now time for a very, very, very important part of the conference. I would like to now take this opportunity to invite our Secretary General, Ms. Delaney Hurley, to please declare Harvard Model United Nations India 2021 open.
So I don't have a gavel with me, but I do have a TV remote, and this conference is all about adaptability anyways. So I'm going to use this instead of a gavel and say, as of now, Harvard Model United Nations India 2021 is officially open. Please go to your committee Zooms. I hope that you all have a very rewarding first day of the conference, and I can't wait to spend some more time with you later.
Dear delegates, faculty advisors, parents, everyone who's here, the conference is now open. Ms. Delaney, thank you so much for declaring the conference open. As we go into committee sessions and as we begin this year's Harvard MUN India session, here's wishing you all the very best of luck. Here's wishing that all of you take into consideration each other's perspectives, each other's beliefs, each other's conditionings, and where we're all coming from. Take everything into consideration and work with each other, collaborate to not just solve some of the most pressing issues that our world is facing, but also talk about how together we can create impact that is sustainable, long-lasting, and that's going to make our world a better place. Have a great conference, dear delegates. It was lovely to speak to you today. Thank you all so much for being a great audience. I would like to now take this opportunity on the note of gratitude to extend gratitude to the organizing team at Worldview, to the organizing team for HMUN India 2021, every single person involved, to the Secretariat, the Secretary General, to the team from Harvard's International Relations Council, and to every single one of you amazing delegates, every faculty advisor, parent, teacher, principal, schools, everyone that has made today possible, everyone that has made HMUN India 2021 possible. Thank you all so much. You all deserve a huge round of applause. So please make sure that you don't forget to clap for yourselves. My name is Josefa Kapadia. I've been your MC for this evening, and it has been my deepest honor. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you so much, and good evening. Bye-bye.